Hello and welcome to Straight News TV. Hopefully it works this time. Basically I'm going to go through a bit of a transfer roundup, and I know we've got some questions coming in from Twitter in the meantime. United have made two signings so far this season, as you well know, Luke Shaw and Ander Herrera. On tour they've looked both comfortable, especially Herrera, who's featured a lot more regular than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has not been fit enough, according to Louis van Gaal, and he seems to have worked on that. If you watch the game against Liverpool, United were quite comfortable in the second half. It was a bit nervy and a bit touchy in the first half, but they really turned it around, and it was great to see Luke Shaw play a role in that. This morning papers are looking at United's interest in Juan Cuadrado, if that's pronounced properly, the Colombian winger who had a decent World Cup. It is also said that Barcelona are chasing the Colombian, so whether the player is totally focused on playing in Europe next season, that's going to say where he's going to end up. If he wants to play for a club with a fantastic manager that's heading in the right direction, Manchester United is definitely the club for him. Another name is Thomas Vermaelen, current Arsenal player, current Arsenal defender, who's not getting much of a look in. Should he get much of a look at United if he arrived? I think so. I think if you look at the current system, it's going to be three centre halves. You're looking at Chris Smalling currently, Johnny Evans, and of course Phil Jones. And there's lots of question marks over those. Johnny Evans needs to step it up a small bit and become a leader. Phil Jones, the same thing, he needs to step it up the mark, and I think Chris Smalling has lots of improving to do. Although there is an argument for the new system, when you're so used to playing 4 at the back and change to 3, for the players in question, it's a drastic change, and it will take some time for them to get used to it. So that's why Van Gaal has come out and he said he needs defenders. Of course he does, because he's limited. He only really has 3 on tour. You've seen him experiment with playing Fletcher as centre half, and Fletcher's not a centre half. And if you're the same to Michael Carrick when he returns, but ideally that won't be the case. Ideally, everyone will go out and get the players Van Gaal wants. They were interested in Matt Hummels, and I think that's totally quenched right now due to the asking price. For some odd reason, United thought they could get a lot cheaper than what they could, and it seems to have gone very quiet at the minute. Just to answer some of the questions, this is just a short video to give us a roundup. We'll try and do this daily. We did promise to do more stuff over the tour, and with the whole time zone and that, it was more difficult than what we expected. So with the run up to the season now, there will be some more transfer roundup. Hopefully it will go under more activity. I think there were a few more signings off being in a comfortable position. Van Gaal has a number of times I should be 3 months before United are playing a system that he wants, the way he wants them to play. And I think in order to get the system he wants, I think he's going to need 1, 2, maybe 3 more signings just to give us that little bit of a boost. This is one of the questions in from Tom from the Can They Score Manchester United football blog. In which position is the most pressing need for recruitment, and why? I think for seasons, the easy answer there is midfield. You cast your mind back to 2005 when we lost Roy Keane, and people keep saying we need another Roy Keane. Unfortunately, Keane was irreplaceable. But we still need a grafter. I think a box player, ideal. And the rumours of Vidal seem just to have a matter of 2 stories. You've journalists coming out saying it's still on. They're confident. You have journalists coming out saying that they're denying every word. So it's really hard to read up on that one. And I think he would be a perfect signing. Although stories today kind of are hinting at Van Gaal being reluctant due to the player's injuries with his knees in the past. And the 3, funnily enough, the 3 midfielders we are being linked to it, Kevin Strootman, Bastian Schweinsteiger and Vidal, the 3 of them have had knee injuries in the past, in recent past. So are we going to wait until to see how Kevin Strootman develops, how he recovers? Time will tell. I do think we need a player in that position now for the start of the season to accompany Ander Herrera. Fletcher remains to be seen whether he can come back to old form, but given last year and given his serious sickness, you'd like to think he could return, but unfortunately I can't see it. But look, I'd love to be proven wrong. I think with that view, we all would be. Defence is another issue that does need addressing. Whether it's experience, whether it's a matter of leaving Jonesy and Smalling a bit of time to develop, who knows? But I do think we need a bit of class and a bit of experience, especially after losing players like Nemanja, Rio Ferdinand and Patrice Evra. You know, players that have been at the club and have won so much, and they've all had stints as captains. They're all leaders, and that is something that does worry me when you lose players. That also Giggs is retired, still in the dressing to a different capacity, but we are going to lack that bit of experience next season. You know, we're looking at Dan Fletcher as a veteran. Even that makes me feel old. You know, I remember Johnny Evans starting, and it doesn't seem too long ago since that. Just on to the next question. There's a good few of them here. This is a bit different from Footy Matters. Bit different. How many goals would Hernandez score if he started every week up front for Barcelona? I don't know. It's a peculiar question. How can you answer a question like that? It's not really transfer related, so I'm going to move on. Ads has asked, who would we be selling? Not just throw names, but actual reasons, and why would we be selling? I think Nani is one that should be heading out the door. He's had enough chances, and unfortunately he's wasted them. I think he doesn't really suit the system and the way we play, especially given if that's what we're going to do from the tour and into next season. I don't think he's going to suit, and the reason behind that is the wingers turn into wing backs. He's not one that's tracked back an awful lot, and up on tour he's played up front. I think if you watch United, there's lots of one touch, there's lots of quick movements, and although Nani is quick, he does tend to overuse the ball and not relieve it as quick as he really should. And when he does do that, United are slowed down. And if our game is based on playing that kind of system, well, he's going to hold United back. And I don't think I think he was substituted very early after coming on the substitute on tour. It was against Inter Milan, and I think it surprised a few people. But the common opinion after that was that his time was up, and the Louis van Gaal wasn't gonna give him any more chances. Obnoxious United has asked, if Vermaelen and Vidal deals do not happen, who would you like to see us sign? Defensively, that's a tough one. Obviously, Hummels is too easy of an answer, so I'm gonna rule that one out. I don't know defensively. You know, there's so many out there that could do a job there, because I think it's a matter of experience. And I seen an article yesterday about Nastasic being a good signing for United. Again, he wouldn't come with experience, so you're not really gonna fix the problem with bringing in a player like Nastasic. Although I do rate him. Again, it's a tough one. Last summer we were linked to a dancer, and I don't particularly rate him, but he come with experience. Again, I don't know for defence. I'd have a better idea of midfield in terms of Vidal. I would like Khedira. Arsenal are closely linked, and there's a few murmurs about problems with wages, which surprise, Wenger's so tight, peeling orange in his pocket. It's a matter of seeing how the window plays out. Van Gaal is confident saying he's not going to bring in a player unless he's going to strengthen, he's going to better what we've already got. And in terms of midfielders, that shouldn't be too much to ask for. I think we need to improve there drastically. Here's a question, another one on Vidal from Sani ATK. Do you see Vidal or Strootman joining Manchester United again? Look, what I know as much as you know. I'd like to think one of them will join. I'm not convinced Strootman will join this summer. If it's going to happen, it does sound to be next summer, and people are saying it's going to be January. They're not really realising that Roma are in the Champions League, and they'll undoubtedly be in the race for the Serie A. They're not going to want to leave their best midfielder leave. that's common sense midway through a season. Whether United splash ridiculous amounts of money, I don't know. It remains to be seen. But as expected, with the transfer roundup where I'm answering questions, I don't know what's going on. I know as much as you know, so it's basically opinion that I'm willing to offer. Kevin Leyland says, "Can you please make this Vidal saga stop? I wish I could. It's driven Manny mad, and I'm sick of picking up papers and reading timelines and people being pestered by some members on Twitter that think they know it all. Do you think we need a winger? How many centre backs do we need? 1 or 2? Depends type of winger we're looking at. Cuadrado, if that's pronounced properly, is a winger, but from who I've spoken to, he seems to be a bit of a monster, a bit of a tank that can defend also. And I think that's what Vidal would be going for, someone that is willing to work up and down the line to offer a defensive mind to his game. And the wing back role seems to be one United are going to adapt next season. How many defenders? Ideally 2, and one of them being a left back that's versatile. Lots of mention with Daly Blind. And then 1 centre half, ideally. The questions are still coming in, but I did say this is a quick one. I'll try and do this daily and offer more kind of insight, more opinion. Surely have a paper alongside me and tell you exactly what's being reported, not just answering questions, but this is just an introduction. The transfer mole said Blind for me. Thoughts? Already given my thoughts. Also, he's asked, where in Ireland are you from? He's from Mayo himself. I'm from County Tipperary. It's a long way to Tipperary, as they say. Manchester PH, dear Dale, you have a cheeky shirt on. XOX, I actually forgot about that. Pardon me, slightly inappropriate. But yeah, that's it for the time being. We're going to be looking forward to the friendly against Valencia at Old Trafford in a few weeks' time, to the last friendly before the season kicks off against Swansea. Lots of content coming up on Stretty News TV this season. As you can see, the live stream is a bit different to usual. We've officially become YouTube partners, which means that we don't need to use Google Hangouts. Much done a bit better, I hope, quality wise and so on. Also, there's a comment section somewhere or other which streams in live, so you can make use of that as the season goes on. I'm sure you're new to it as much as I am. Just as I said, short video. Hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you read the description. There's plenty of links to feeds, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and so on, so you can subscribe to Stretty News feeds and get the most in the blog, and of course these live streams. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you again soon.